Welcome you all to the video session on rules, strategies and different types of plans, comparison of different type of plans. In the previous video sessions we discussed about policies, procedures, methods which are going to be very helpful in order to achieve the particular objective of the company. What are rules? Rules are the detailed and then the recorded instructions that a specific action must or must not be performed in a given situations. Rule books are very much essential in order to make the employees to work under a particular environment. They are going to give the standard guidelines. Rules are always established to exercise the control on the behavior of the individuals. So if the rule books are in place, then it is very easy for the employees to have a common base of action, and they will be able to follow the methods and the procedure in order to achieve the success of a particular work. So when the rules are violated, they are viewed very seriously. The rules are essential to keep the discipline in the workplace, and they are also going to ensure the safe operation of the business. The rules are different from the policy, and they're also different from the procedure, or they are also different from the methods. For example, rule of no smoking and rule of no mobile phones inside the campus, no mobile phones inside the examination hall, rule of compulsory helmets, traffic rules. All these are the rules which are going to dictate, or which are going to dictate people to form the particular disciplinary measures. So when we were understanding about the rules, single use plants are always going to form with respect to the rules that are going to dictate, and that are going to dictate the disciplinary ways to the individuals in order to achieve the success. So after learning what is rules, let's understand what is a program. Programs are the definite steps in the proper sequence to complete a task. They are generally an aggregate of various related action plans that have been designed to accomplish a task in a given period. It is a comprehensive plan that includes the strategies, policies, plans, procedures, methods, etc. And a program usually specifies all actions that to achieve a particular objective. So when we think about it, often a program is treated as a project. Every program is considered as a project, and every project is considered as a task. So the program, for example, if we think about a program to conduct a sports day in an organization, it's considered as a program to arrange a cultural day is a program. So these there are various programs that are considered as a project for a particular time, and this is a single use plan. So the schedules, what are the schedules? So we learnt about the methods, we learnt about the rules, we learnt about the procedure, we learnt about the rules, as well as we learnt about a comprehensive plan called as the programs. After learning all this, we need to establish a schedule in order to conduct a program. Once we establish a schedule, the schedule is nothing but a program associated with the plan of action. So the schedule is to be made in order to achieve the plan. So they are like a timetable which shows the clearly specifies the time, what and when and how and who is going to make the particular plan. And the each piece of the work has to be carried, where it has to be carried and when it has to be carried, what are the timings, all these are going to be mentioned in the schedule of plan. So after establishing the program, after establishing the methods, after establishing the schedule, next step is to consider the projects. What are projects? Projects are nothing but a small program again, and several projects are picked up by the company. Each project is unique in nature, and several projects are also make up a program, and the projects are individual portions of a general program. Project work, for example, project work is there as a part of curriculum in the 8th semester and 7th semester too. So the project work is done by the student. This project work has got a different kind of methods, plans, and then the programs, different programs might be there in the project, and these several projects could be involved in a particular program. So several programs will have several projects. In order to simplify it further, a program may be having the several projects. So next most important thing is that we need to consider what is the cost that is involved. In order to understand what is the cost, we must learn about budgeting. What is budget? A budget is nothing but a written plan of future activities of the company in the monetary terms. Every project will have a budget. Every project will have a profit. So in order to understand what is the budget, we must understand that the budget is in the written form. It specifies the allocation of financial resources to each activity. They are managerial tools for planning, programming and controlling. Budget already defines the anticipated cost that is associated with each one of the program, and it also indicates the budget, the monetary requirement for attaining objective. Budget also for a company can be made as a wholesome and also for the departments. I take an example of a company which has got which will have the different budgets. There will be sales budget, there will be a departmental budget for a purchase department, and there will be a advertisement and publicity budget, there will be the production budget, there will be the human resource budget, there will be expansion plan budget. Like this, several budgets will be there in a particular company towards each one of the department. If we consider an institution, there will be departmental budget. If a institution runs 4 departments, each department will have the allocation of funds in terms of the budgets. So what are the general features of the budgets? We know that the budgets are in the different written form, and it is a statement in terms of the money or some quantity or both. So budgets are prepared for a particular future period or particular period, prepared well in advance, helps in anticipation and control of the financial requirements of different branches of a company. It also gives the overall view of the business in terms of sales, production and expenditure. So it gives a proper book of accounts. So budgeting has to be in place for the future planning. So budgeting has to be done well in advance. So we must understand the financial implications. So we must be ready to allocate the proper budgeting to the proper department, understanding the forecast by the departments in order to achieve the project achievables. So we learnt about the project, we learnt about the program, we learnt about the budgeting. Now we can understand what are the types of the plans based on the nature of the plan. So we understood the types of the plans based on the resources. Well, now let us understand the types of the plans based on the nature of the plan. So the nature of the planning, the types of the plans that are based on the nature of the planning can be classified as long range planning, those are called as the strategic planning, and then the short range planning, which are called as the tactical planning. Strategic planning aims at the higher level by the top management. Tactical plannings are the day-to-day planning that is laid out by the lower level management. Let's understand the difference between the strategic planning and the tactical planning. Strategic planning, as I already stated, it is a long-term plan, and the tactical planning is a short-term plan. Strategic planning is done by the top level management. Tactical planning is done by the lower level management. Strategic planning consists of major goals. The tactical planning consists of the use of facilities and the resources. The strategic planning consists of the detailed focuses on the long-term goals. More detailed, caters to the day-to-day activities, and the tactical planning goes with the operations of the organization. Strategic planning is a long-term. It consists of, and it is based on the long-term operations, and it is more uncertain in nature. And the tactical planning is more certain in nature, and it is based on the performance on the day-to-day activities, and this strategic planning focuses on the planning and forecasting, whereas the tactical planning focuses on the coordination. So these are the differences between the strategic planning and the tactical planning. So the planning activities can be classified on the basis of their use, nature and time frame also. So the planning classification based on the use are single use plan and the standing plan, as we already discussed. Based on the nature, it is the strategic plans and the tactical plans. Based on So based on the time frame, operation plans are the one which are going to be classified. So when we think about the tactical plans are the day-to-day plans, and it is derived by the lower level management. But when we compare the operation plan with the tactical plans, operational plans are short range plans, and this time frame may be 1 year, maximum of 1 year. So tactical plans are operational plans with the short range plans. So it is the responsibility of the lower level management, and it is also concerned with the schedules and methods, and the responsible for covering the day to day operation and the implementing the internal procedures. Let's, after understanding the planning, let's understand what is decision making. Decision making planning is an intellectual process, and as it requires to manage to think before the action. Decision making is the one which is oriented towards action plan, and through planning the action plan will derive. And though the planning managers of organization decide about what to do and how to do and where to do, the decision making will come only after selecting the best one to do. So the decision making can be defined as the process of choosing and arranging among the alternatives. So the decision making occurs at all the stages of the planning process. So the decision making is most important part of the planning process, and it is the decision making is the part of all functions of the management. So in planning, through decision making, making goals and objectives are prepared. In organizing that through the decision making, the managers decide upon the choice of the structure, type of the organization, and then the work allocation, etc. Whereas in directing, through the decision making, managers decide the which type of like the course of action to be planned, and then the which type of instructions to be given, providing the directions, etc. are to be planned. In controlling, decision making, through the decision making, the managers are going to find the ways, and then they are going to fix the standards, how to control and then what to control, etc. are to be taken through the decision making. So the characteristics of the decision making are very much essential to understand. So the decision making is goal oriented because it is required to reach the end result. Decision making involves the alternatives because the decision making have to be proper in place so as to consider the alternatives in that will come out with the choice. So decision making involves the alternatives. So the decision making is an analytical and then the intellectual process. We need to understand and take a proper decision by considering all kinds of pros and cons. So it is a kind of judgment, and it represents a commitment also. So the decision making is continuous activity. Decision making is also it exists everywhere, no matter whether it is the planning or organizing or staffing or controlling, it exists everywhere. And decision making is more situational one, and it is dynamic in nature. The decision making process involves a systematic step by step procedure, and this can be categorized like as we are going to discuss further. Decision making, the step by step procedure is to first is to define the problem and the parameters that are going to influence it. So it states, the decision making in this particular step states the problem clearly, and the parameters, the external and the internal parameters that are going to influence the particular decision, and it selects the best alternatives and first, and it is going to give a permanent solution if possible, and it is going to establish it is going to establish a proper decision. It formulates the model that is going to consider everything, and the decision making involves the recognition of the problems as the first step. Second step is to decide the priorities among the problems. Third step is to problem diagnosis, and we need to consider all the parameters, and then we need to see the depth of the problem. The correct diagnosis of the problem, it's a must for a manager, and there has to be an approach to it. It could be the contingency approach, or it could be the systematic approach that is to be developed after diagnosing the problem. Before arriving at a solution, all alternatives have to be weighed, and before making a decision, criteria has to be established, and after establishing it, So the grading the criteria according to their importance have to be made, and with this different criteria for decision making must make the company profitable. So the profit maximization and then the employee welfare, all these to be considered. With this we come to the close of this video session. Well, then see you all in the next session on the different alternatives, that is how to build, how to develop a mathematical or the different kind of model by having a suitable decision. Thank you everyone.